We say good morning to her, sis just walks right past, kisses her teeth, and just goes straight through. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is how it's gonna be for the rest of the summer. Say less. For me personally, I didn't greet her after that. After I said good morning to her, she didn't want to say good morning to me, and she just walked right past me as if I didn't even exist. I didn't say good morning to her from then on. Let me not even say it because I'm not trying to expose people. Actually, no, I'm gonna say it. I don't even care because I don't work there this summer, so I'm gonna What's good, everyone? You know the vibes. Your boy Sly back at again with another video, and as you guys can see by the title, this is another story time. I haven't done a story time for you guys in a hot minute, and for this story time, I feel like this story time is one of the most juiciest story times I've ever had on this channel. So before we get started, make sure you get your popcorn, your drinks, or whatever you need because this story time is a very juicy story time. And before we get into this video, also make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below. It really help me out, and also follow me on my Instagram, which will be right here. And let's get into the video. As you can see by the title of this story time, I'm doing a story time about my worst summer camp experience, which was this summer that just passed. Let me give you guys a little backstory about summer camp. So basically during the year from the months of September to June, I work an after school program and also do different programs. And then in the summertime of July and August, I work summer camp. So at this location that I've been working at, so I've been working at this location for 4 years, and this year I didn't want to work summer camp because of COVID and everything. I was concerned about like what I would have to do, what the kids would have to do, because it's gonna be very tough this year for summer camp, because in summer camp you play games, you're together with everybody, you know. So I said, yeah, I'm not gonna work. At the time in March, summer camp was full on canceled and they refunded everybody their money back. So why was it that I got an email saying that they're gonna do summer camp again? And I'm like, summer camp? And at the time, this was around June that I got an email saying that they're gonna do summer camp this year. And I said, how is that gonna work out? Like, how they're really doing summer camp? And at the time I was on CERB, and I didn't want to leave officer because I was living my best life, you know, being at home and getting paid, you know. So I said no. I declined it immediately. I said no, I don't want to work summer camp because it didn't make sense, because I didn't figure out why they will open up summer camp when there's still a lot of cases out there, you know. And it's kids. Kids are more vulnerable in getting the virus versus adults. So I said no. I full on said no, I don't want to work summer camp this year. And then I got an email from the union, because where I work I'm unionized. I got an email from the union like later on that day saying that those who declined work are not going to get CERB or not be able to apply for EI. And I was like, what? So I was literally forced this year in working summer camp. When I declined the position at where I work, basically what happened was I emailed the committee that I had to talk to, the hiring committee, and they said that they're gonna look for somewhere else for me to work, because since I already declined it, like I won't be able to go work where I usually work in summer camp. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not gonna be able to work where I usually work, and I'm so comfortable where I work because I know everybody, the environment is so pleasant and everything. So I was just there antsy waiting on what will happen. So I got an email back from them, and they said that I in fact can work at the place that I usually work for summer camp, and I was happy about that. So every single year for summer camp, there's always a 1-week training before summer camp actually starts to train the staff, you know, to make sure that everything's fine. Especially this year with COVID, we had to have a really intense training. So I went to the training the second day because it was a 4-day, it was actually a 5-day training, but I went on the second day because on Monday I was told that I would be able to come on Tuesday. So I came on Tuesday, and when I came in, I was like, okay, I'm here. Like every single time I went throughout my whole summer camp experience this year, every time I drove to work, I was always thinking, why am I here? Like, why is there summer camp? This does not make sense. It's not logical for there to be summer camp when there's still bare cases out there, and you know, you can get COVID. And I don't want to get the virus. Like, who wants to get the virus? I don't. So that was what was in my mind every single time I went to work. And when I got there, you know, I saw people that I worked with before, and I saw some new people, and there's also a new location coordinator. So let me guys tell you about this location coordinator now. Okay, so basically I'm a leader when I work summer camp. So I'm basically with the kids all the time. I play games with the kids, we do arts and crafts, we go swimming, we do other stuff. So I'm basically, you know, the kids leader, and there's always a location coordinator to be on top of you to help you and support you in anything you need. And over the years working at my location, the location coordinators have been very supportive, been very good. But this year with COVID and everything, it really messed up, so people had to switch and go to different locations, and there was a whole brand new location coordinator at the location that I was working at. So this lady, let me give this lady a name. We're gonna call her the Summer Witch Rat. Actually, that was her nickname throughout the whole summer. With me and my other coworkers, we called her the Summer Witch Rat because she was a rat. She even looked like a rat. The summer witch rat, she introduced herself, you know, she seemed like a very nice lady. Like I didn't judge her when I first met her, you know, she was very nice. She was very informative of what she was doing. She had a lot of knowledge of how she's been working summer camp. She told us, she introduced herself and everything. I was like, okay, you know, it's gonna be a different year. I knew for a fact it's gonna be different, but I also knew that, okay, it might go smoothly with everything that's happening. So we were planning out during the whole training, we're planning out like different games, different activities you can do. And this coordinator, she's out here, you know, giving us ideas, saying she'll do this, she'll do this, she'll do that, you know, let's do this, let's do that. I'm like, okay, it's actually gonna be a lit summer camp here, even though we have COVID and everything. So okay, it's gonna be lit. First week comes, and mind you, wait, before I even start saying the first week, mind you, this lady is a germaphobe. So she's a germaphobe and she's working in this pandemic. Make it make sense. So in the first week where the camp has started, and she does not help anyone. All she does is sit at because basically the way sign in and sign out go, there's a tent in the front of the building, and basically we screen every participant that's coming in. Do they have any of the symptoms? Have they traveled outside of Canada within the last 14 days? Have they been in contact with someone with COVID-19? Had they taken their temperature? And it's required for them to take their temperature before entering the building. If they have not taken their temperature, then they have to go home, take their temperature, and then come back. So she's been at the tent, you know, she's the one that's doing all the admin work, all the paperwork, and that's her job. That is what she is supposed to do. But also she's also supposed to support her leaders, and if we need anything, you know, have any question or anything, we can go to her and she'll answer and she'll help us in time of need. Do you think she does that? No. So let me give you guys, there's bare stuff that happens. So the first week, she doesn't help us in anything. Like we literally do everything ourselves, like the sanitization, the bin, planning out like what activities we can do and all that stuff. And while we're doing all that stuff, where's sis? She's sitting at the tent, and sign in has already passed. It's already past 9:15. This is like 10-11 o'clock, even almost lunch. She's just sitting at the sign in doing who knows what. Only God will know till this day. So also after week 1, we noticed that she doesn't help us, and it's literally all the leaders fend for themselves. Like we all have a group chat. We all, you know, tell each other what's going on. We all keep informative because she doesn't help us. So we had to fend for ourselves basically. And it was week 2. It was week 2 that came. This is from my personal experience. Week 2 that came where I felt like she was just micromanaging, and I hate people who micromanage, especially with the fact that I know what I'm doing, because I've been working summer camp for 4 years. I have a huge grasp of what I'm doing and how to handle my kids. Like you can't tell me how to handle my kids when I'm with the kids 24/7 of the day. You know what I mean? So she was micromanaging me, always watching what I'm doing to see if I really know what I'm doing, and it's like, sis, calm down. So basically the head boss above us and above the location coordinator sent out an email about everybody's contact information, so like all of our phone numbers, so in case we need, you know, to contact anyone in times of need. And by accident he sent our seniority hours in it. So she was number 1 and then I was number 2. She said she's been working for 10+ years, and she said she's 36, and I'm only 21, and I've been working for 5 years, and I'm almost reaching her hours. Make it make sense. How does that make sense? So that's how you know her work ethic isn't really that good. And I didn't take it in at first when I saw it, but I just ignored the fact of that, you know? So then after, she was always micromanaging me, and at the time when the first week of summer camp started, the AC was broken. And in the building that I work, it's literally all glass, and when we need AC, because if there's no AC, it's really hot and it gets humid in there because of all the glass. And you know when the sun goes on glass? Yeah. So we had our mask on the whole time when we're inside, and when we're inside, our mask has to be on. And it's really difficult for me and the kids when our masks are on and it's hot in there and it's humid and it's like gross. You feel all moist and all that stuff, and there's no AC. So the rule was, in any room, you're not allowed to play physical activity that'll make the kids sweat, because the kids are wearing their mask and that's not good, right? So then they're breathing in the same air that they're letting out with their mask on. So that was the rule. And what I did, I let the kids have choice play, not free play, choice play. So for example, I'll be like, kids, we have 3 options of what we can do today. We can either play individualized basketball, so practice on your shooting. We can do an arts and craft, like a planned arts and craft, or we can also go outside and go on a little nature walk. Pick which of the 3, you know? There's a difference between free play saying go do whatever you want, and the difference between choice play saying these are the 3 options that we have, pick one or we're gonna have problems, you know? So that's what I did. Every single time she'll come up to me and say that I'm giving the kids free play. But I'm like, how am I giving them free play when I'm giving them the choice to do something? For me personally, as a leader, summer camp is supposed to be a fun experience. You're not supposed to, it's not school. Summer camp is not school. It's not, even though yes, there is a schedule and what we do in summer camp, but at the end of the day, summer camp is not school. You're supposed to make these kids have fun, make these kids have a fun summer, because at the end of the day, some of these kids don't even want to be in summer camp. They'd rather be at home, chilling, playing video games, right? So I'm trying to make it as fun as an experience for them, especially with this year with all the limitations and the restrictions that came through with COVID. And she was always saying that I was doing free time with them, and I said, no, I'm not doing that. So why was it that one day, we all had enough of her because she came to every single one of the leaders and would micromanage us and tell us that what we're doing is not right. To the extent that this woman even went to our kids and said,
what has Sylvester done this week that you liked? And what has Sylvester done this week that you haven't liked?
In front of my face. Are you dumb? Okay, so I'm on my bed editing and I forgot to add one crucial part. So one crucial part about this coordinator is when I was in the gym, when summer camp first started, for the first 2 weeks I was in the gym, and in the gym is really hot because everywhere has glass, right? And I never allowed the kids to play like running games. While I was at that, I was playing basketball with my kids. Like they were playing individual basketball, so each kid to one net, right? So everybody was social distance. And she came in and said that this is enough free time, she's had enough. And she took my kids from playing individualized basketball to playing four corners. If you guys don't know how to play four corners, this game includes running from each corner of the wall when she says where to go. And the kids have their mask on. So make it make sense, and how that makes sense, because the rule was we're not allowed to play any running games, because if we play a running game and a supervisor comes and walks in and sees me playing a running game, then I'll get in trouble. But yes, she was doing it with my kids. Does it make sense? But yeah, let's continue back to the story time. The kids looked at her and looked at me and they're like, there's nothing Sylvester has done that we don't like. They said there's nothing. And then there was one kid that I like in summer camp. I have my children, I call them my children, and there's one who I call my child, and she said that the one thing that she doesn't like about summer camp is her. And how ironic is that, you know? And basically she was just micromanaging us, giving us bare troubles for no reason. So at the end of the day, me and my other coworker, we went to the bigger boss, and we told him everything that's been going on, how we've been feeling working this year and everything, because he always asks us, you know, how is summer camp going for you guys? And we always told him fine, because I never tell no one. I'm not a snitch. I won't tell no one anything. So we told him, and oh wait, before that, before we told the bigger boss, me and my other coworker, we were sitting down having lunch, and at the time there were specific rooms where it only had a maximum number of people in the room. And in the room it said 3 people, but in the room it said 2 people actually, and there was 3 people at a time that are on lunch break, because we had staggered lunch breaks. And we were sitting down eating, and then she barged into the room and she's like,
what are you guys doing here?
And then we're like, we're eating lunch. And then my other coworker said, we're eating lunch. And then she's like,
well, one of you guys needs to leave the room because the maximum is 2 people and it says it right on the door.
But it doesn't make sense because there's nowhere else we can go. Outside is hot and we're just trying to eat our lunch. And there's always been 3 people, but why all of a sudden she looks at us? And I feel like it's because the people that were there at the time, she doesn't like us or something. She came in the room and said, no, one person needs to leave. So at that point, I had it, my other coworker had it, and we went to the bigger boss and we told him everything that has been going down in summer camp and how we've been feeling. And at the time, you can't fire her, or like, you know, you have to have proof. So he said, email him. So we kept sending him emails about the situation that we've had with her, and to the extent that she did get, I think she got suspended or relieved of her position for like 2 days to like go home and like reflect or whatever, because the leaders and her, us as leaders and her, we never were on the same page. We always were on different pages, and it was always problematic, you know? She didn't come for 2 days, and it was literally the best 2 days ever because we were all chilling. The vibe was back. It felt like summer camp again. Like that's how I felt, you know? And then we thought that at the time, we thought that she quit her job and we were happy, you know? We rejoiced. We were like, yes, we finally got rid of this lady. We finally got rid of the summer witch rat, you know? We were lit. And then the bigger boss comes and tells us, oh, that she's actually in fact just coming back. She's coming back 2 days after, you know? And we were all sad. We're like, why is she coming back? But like, do you not realize how different the environment has changed because one person has been removed from that specific environment? And he's like, yeah, I understand, but she is a location coordinator. She did apply for it or whatever. So like, hey, whatever. It's gonna be a new plan when she comes back. It's gonna be, you know, hopefully she'll be happier again and, you know, support us in what we're doing and all that stuff. And she came the morning of, and we're all like, okay, yeah, she's back, hopefully, you know, nothing happens. And she comes, she walks, we say hi to her, we say good morning to her, we greet her, you know, pretend like nothing happened. It's a clean slate now, you know? We say good morning to her, sis just walks right past, kisses her teeth, and just goes straight through. I'm like, oh, Okay, so this is how it's gonna be for the rest of the summer. Say less. It's okay. So then after that, we're like, hey, I'm not gonna, for me personally, I didn't greet her after that. After I said good morning to her, she didn't want to say good morning to me, and she just walked right past me as if I didn't even exist. I didn't say good morning to her from then on. I'm like, I'm not gonna say good morning to you or say hi to you or be pleasant to someone that's gonna be disrespectful to me. That's not gonna happen. I'm not the type of person to deal with that bullshit. After that, she basically didn't talk to us. She didn't associate with us. All the instruction that we were given was not from her, but was from the bigger boss that's above her. So we talked to him most of the time. Anything that we needed, we went to him instead of the location coordinator. So he told us that she's not gonna do any like micromanaging or anything like to, you know, get us upset or anything, but she is just gonna tell him and he's gonna come and tell us. It's like, okay, that's fine. Like if she really doesn't want to talk to us, she's really mad at us because we told the boss that, well, we don't like what she's doing. We don't like being micromanaged. We know I've been doing this for so long. Personally, I've been doing it for so long. So how are you trying to come and micromanage me and try to tell me what games I should play with my children when you're not with my children 24/7? That does not make sense. So she didn't talk to us, whatever, to the extent that there was one scenario where we were outside, right? We were all outside because when we're outside, we're all the groups are allowed to be together, but we still have to be social distance. But we're outside though. It's like windy, there's breeze and all that stuff, so we're allowed to be outside together. And at the time, the staff, we were sitting at the picnic table. There's one picnic table that we sit at, and we were sitting there, but even though we weren't allowed to sit there, but we still sat there. And there was a ledge, like there's a ledge that's on the side of the path, and she literally was at the ledge like this. Like all you seen was her eyes. And then my other coworker was like, guys, the witch is right there, the summer witch rat's right there. And then all of us got up quick, and apparently at that time she took photos of us and ran like a rat, like she is, to the bigger boss and told him that we've been sitting at the picnic bench and we're not watching the kids. First of all, my kids were literally right beside me. I'm watching them. They're playing their little game. They're social distant. There's no problem. But the problem was that all the staff were sitting at the picnic table. And as leaders, we did take responsibility for our action, and we were not allowed, in fact, to sit at the picnic table all together like that. We did take responsibility for that, and we accepted that, you know. But unlike her, this girl's acting like a little rat, like she is. So she went back, and then we told him everything. Like, we don't appreciate the fact that she took pictures of us in like our uniform and stuff, and like she has it on her phone and all that stuff. And basically he's like, yeah, he'll look into it, and just keep sending him emails of everything that happened. So there was also another situation, not with me, but with my coworker, about how she made her cry. Like she was literally like, she got everybody so frustrated. Like every single person had their own experience. Like I had my own experience, and my other coworkers had their own experience with her, but she made my other coworker cry. But she was just frustrated at the time, because she basically, what happened was every single week we have to sanitize the bins and sanitize the markers, crayons, anything that we use for the next kids to come and use it. So they were sanitizing. There's a group of people that sanitize, and she was sanitizing, and she came in and said, I don't know exactly what she said, but she said something to her that made her so frustrated that she threw her bin that she was sanitizing that was in her hand on the ground. Not at her, on the ground. So after she threw it, she turned around and looked at her and said,
you come here, we're going to the bigger boss's office.
They went to the bigger boss's office and they sat down together, and she's like,
I'm the location coordinator, and I'm gonna appreciate when people throw stuff directly at me and being upset with me.
This and that. What? First of all, she never threw it at you, and she's allowed to be frustrated if she wants to. We're all human beings. We are allowed to be entitled to our emotions. After that, the bigger boss said, okay, Summer Witch Rat, you can leave, and let me talk with the girl one-on-one. And she talked with the girl one-on-one, and the bigger boss was like, what's wrong? And then she instantly started bawling. Like, I don't even blame her for bawling, because I think everybody's just frustrated at that moment. And then I think at that time, the bigger boss knew that all of us were really frustrated at her, and it's not just one person, or it's not like all of us are coming together as like a little like group and coming to get her fired. No, it was actually genuine annoyance, genuine like frustration from this one woman, you know. And he kept saying that after that he had a meeting with us, and he kept saying like, you know, send him emails and all that stuff. And we sent him emails and everything, and basically after that, it was to an extent, it was week 3, to an extent where she in fact quit. And we thought that they fired her or whatever, but she in fact quit. It's like, why? Like, why do you have to act like that? Like, first of all, you're brand new to this location, you don't know everybody here. Instead of you to be making, actually no, let me not even say it, because I'm not trying to expose people. Actually no, I'm gonna say it. I don't even care, because I don't work there this summer. So I'm before this, she had one person that was with her all the time, Bati and Bench with this person. Them two together, they were always Bati and Bench. So I personally did not trust her in the beginning, because it's like anything that I say to her, she'll go tell her, you know what I mean? So we didn't like, we had a group chat, but we didn't like add her into the group chat, and like, because we couldn't trust her at the time, because it's like anything that we say, she can go right back to her and say, oh, they said this and that about you, and that'll be a whole problem, you know? So then later on, she in fact quit. I found out that she quit at the end, like week 8 at the end, and I was like, oh, she quit. They're like, yeah. But after that, after week 3, week 4 to week 8, it was literally a breeze. Summer camp was a breeze without one person. And it's like, why do you have to act like that? Why do you have to act like, yes, you are the boss technically, okay, yeah, but you're only the boss for 2 months. It's just summer camp. You need to understand that summer camp, we need to try and make it as fun as possible, especially with this year, with what's going on right now in the world. We need to try and make it more as fun as possible. And she just out here ruined it for even the children. She even told some kids that the kid's lying. Why did that a kid stubbed their finger in the washroom door, and she went home, she's like,
oh, I was thinking about what happened yesterday and I don't think you stubbed your arm. I think you're fooling around the washroom.
And then another staff, like my other coworker, said, no, I stub my finger all the time in that washroom because the door is so heavy. It happens to anyone. And she's like what? Like stuff like that is like, why? Are you okay? Like, are you okay? Like, sis would be out here in the tent paying off her mortgage. You're at work. You can pay your mortgage after hours. Like, what are you doing? You know, it doesn't make sense. After that, she left. We didn't have any location coordinator. Us leaders, we just were able to handle summer camp on our own. And we figured out that we didn't need one in the beginning. We never needed one to start with because she was never there to help us with anything. Why was it that when we had tie-dye, we had every single week when we planned it in the training, we had tie-dye. She'll plan out like the different events and all that stuff, and she'll say like she'll support us and all that stuff. But we had tie-dye, for example, and where was she? Sitting at the tent. Doing what? Like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be there to help us. Like, especially in events that we're doing, the location coordinator needs to be there to support the leaders. Not saying you need to do the work for us, but you need to help support us if we need anything, like if a kid needs to go to the washroom or anything. So she wasn't there. We had another time there was an emergency situation where there was a guy on a bicycle who had like a crowbar and trying to hit another guy. And then after that, she wasn't there. She didn't know what was going on. We called the bigger boss and we told him that what was going on. We walkie-talkied him and he came and he said that everybody should evacuate and we should go back inside the center into our groups. So we went back inside and we're walking inside, and she asked one of my other coworkers and was like,
oh, what's going on? Why is everybody going inside?
If you were at the place where we were at, you would have known. Why are you sitting at the tent on your phone? There's a time to be on your phone, there's a time not to be on your phone. When you're in the workplace, you shouldn't be on your phone other than for work purposes. Other than that, for personal use, don't be on your phone. That's what they always tell us. But yeah, you're allowed to be on your phone? Okay then. It's just stuff like that. She was unequipped to be a location coordinator, in my opinion. And I was happy when she left because I felt like she just needed to leave. I feel like you guys understand what I mean. Comment down below if you guys understand what I mean. When that one person leaves from that environment, the environment just changes, and it's facts, you know? So it's like, we didn't need one. We didn't need a coordinator. We didn't need anyone to micromanage us in the beginning period. And then for the rest of summer, it was great. So yeah, that's basically my story time of my worst summer camp experience. I hope this lady Summer Witch Rat, if she's watching this, I don't even care because I never said your name, so come at me. I hope she understands what she did this summer, and I hope she reflects, you know? And yeah, that's the end of this story time. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below. It really helped me out. And also follow me on Instagram, which will be right here. And I'll see you guys in my next upload.